as an institution, we should not restrict students from going into a major that they are paying for at Furman. A lot of people, a host of people have had to transfer out of Furman who've been here for at least 3 years. I think that's unacceptable. I think the university should really look at these other departments that don't have the numbers that communications have. Poli-sci and biocommunications, they are gigantic majors at Furman. And I think we need to start reinvesting to those areas. I also think that professors in the communication department, they really need to consider teaching more upper courses as well. Everybody can't teach intro to communications. We have to make sure that so many rhetoric courses are taught and so many middle courses and upper courses are taught. I think by doing that, we can make sure that that major remains open to all students who want to join, and get rid of the camp and the 3.0 requirement.
I think that this issue has upset a lot of students, especially the comm majors. I think it's really wrong when people are paying money to choose their major and to take the courses that they came here to take, and then they don't have that opportunity. And I think it is a big problem, and I think it needs an immediate solution. I think this is one of those things that is not a long-term goal. But as far as like the limits that are being put on, like you have to have this to even be into the major, I just think that that's a bad thing that we're to that point, and something really needs to happen soon about, maybe hiring more professors or whatever needs to happen to make this work for students.
What will you do to work with other members of AFS who might not have your passion to get them involved in your administration, and also to invigorate the student body and get them more interested in AFS?
Ready? It's okay.
Okay. One of the ideas I actually had was possibly doing some sort of retreat for all the people on AFS. I don't think they do that now. I think it'd be a good way to make everyone on our student government feel like they're a part of a team and that we're all in this together. Because I really think that's true, and I think that it's not, sometimes it seems like it's the exec is the only entity that's really going to do anything, or the finance committee is the only person who's going to make decisions, and that's not how it's supposed to be, and it really is a team effort. And I think that especially when you have such talented people who are on our student government, like they have a lot of different perspectives and things that they could give, and I think the way that you use all those abilities is by incorporating them and making it a team effort. So that's my idea, and I think that by doing that, people will be more motivated to, everyone can have that same passion.
I think that's a good question, Andrew. To my knowledge, AFS does one retreat per year, but it's a retreat that's on campus. One thing that I want to do is I want to change that from one retreat to about maybe 2 or 3 retreats, where we go away in the summer. We learn Robert's Rules of Order. We learn the structure of council. And we create an outlet that we can actually make our committee structures work, but we go beyond our committees to the student body as well. I think retreats are a great idea to stimulate some thought, but I think when you come back to the root of your question, Andrew, about what would I do to engage those that don't share my vision, well, you sit down at the table and you say, here's where I am, and this is where you are, and you draw a line, and you compromise, you negotiate, you see what's at stake, and you persuade people. They persuade you. At the end of the day, you leave the table respectful people that can respect one another, but you leave that table with a consensus of what you're doing is going to bring about some change at Furman. So to answer your question, what will I do? I will engage members of council and members of our student body while implementing about 2 to 3 retreats to help engage and stimulate some creative thoughts as well.
Are there any further questions? Yes.
Yes, you were talking about, I guess, tuition rising, and you, Mr. Griffin, that your committee for first-year students has $500,000. Now, I don't know exactly what you do with that, but that seems a bit excessive to me for first-year students. And in terms of getting tuition to come back down, what does that money go towards?
Well, that money actually, those monies don't actually come from tuition. It comes from the fund from the Duke Endowment. And if you look at the Duke Endowment, a lot of those funds go to offset the costs of Furman students as well through scholarships, financial aid packages. Furman actually is about to take some of those funds from our committee to put in elsewhere across our campus with the work of provost could see without setting the student costs of our campus as well. Now, what we do with those funds, well, first year seminars, they take field trips. We purchase books and supplies for them. We pay for TAs. We do what we can to support the engagement of their curriculum. Because what the seminars are designed to do is something that is unique and universal, that a lot of other places are starting to look at our system to model it from. It takes the students out of the perspective of having a regular English writing class or literature course, and engages their thoughts into an activity that makes them examine the universe, cloning, political thought, communications. It takes them out of the normal Furman classroom, puts them to a class about 10 to 15 people, and see where they go from there. But it does not only on campus, but does it off of campus. But one way that we support this is to have funds available to help support the professors and the students during their journeys, the one-year journey in these seminars. I hope I answered your, okay.
Any further questions? Okay, with that, we will open it up for closing remarks. Begin with Mr.
Okay, well, I want to thank the Cicero Society and y'all for being here. I want to thank Sean too. I think this has been a really good experience, and hopefully next year y'all can do this again. I think it's been helpful. To reiterate, well, I don't want to just reiterate the things that I've said, but I think that listening to some of the stuff we've said tonight, there's a lot of ways that we can move forward on AFS to make it work better for students. And you know, whichever one of us is elected, I really think that these ideas are really important, and we need to find ways to turn these ideas into action. And if you elect me as your president, that's what I'll do.
Thank you. Mr. Griffin.
I would like to thank Ben well for accepting the invitation to come here, and again to thank Cicero for sponsoring this, you all for coming, and you for filming. I think we can do a lot of great things next year. I think that we have the opportunity to make the impossible possible, but it starts by you sharing a common belief. That common belief can inspire not only my candidacy or Ben's candidacy, but an entire campus. We are a community of one, but we have to start establishing ourselves and carrying ourselves as that community. We have to start investing in our student body. By investing in our student body, we show that we understand the problems and the concerns and the weight that we carry about ourselves. We need to start listening, not only as students, but as student leaders as well. I won't just be a student body president that sits behind a table. I will engage you by listening to your concerns, listening to administration, and the faculty and staff. At the end of the day, reach a solution that I think is attainable and that will achieve progress. Last but certainly not least, we will fix this way of our way of communicating with students. I will establish an AFS website that is interactive. If you can't come to us, you can go to the website and you can watch our meetings live as they're streaming online at 6 o'clock. You can watch our past meetings as they're archived. You can get involved in your government through appointments. I will commit to you that we won't change Furman next year. We won't move the mountain, but I can somewhat promise you that we will experience a student government that we've never really experienced here at Furman. We will have trust, we will have accountability, we will be responsible leaders and stewards of your funds. I can vow that we will have a balanced budget if I'm elected. And I look forward to serving as your president. I look forward to our partnership. I thank you all and look forward to your support Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you. On behalf of the Furman University Cicero Society and the students of Furman, we thank you both for your candidacy and look forward to following either one of you into the future.